I remember that Motti, from the day he came from Cleveland to New York, was with him in Yeshiva in Montreal. We were together at Camp Gan Yisrael. I was at his wedding. We danced together, celebrated Simchas together, and I watched him flourish as a shliach par excellence.
Kannst du bei einer neuen Mikve im Auto morgen? Soll sein Unschwierigkeiten.
soll sein mal gut geschont, was Wochen haben.
Shalom
Adoni.
Yom Haletus.
And
Behind.
Every Shabbos we would go to Empire Steeple together and we would learn together.
Sadie, I love you so much. And I miss you so much.
I was invited to a Farbrengen in Montreal. I went there with my wife. They asked Rabbi Berger to come up and speak. I didn't know who Rabbi Berger was. Well, he got up and spoke. He was fire. After that, I said, my God, if I could get this rabbi to come to Ottawa, it would be a miracle here.
He gave us such a strong love that I wish I could give to my grandkids when I'm older, and something I'll never forget, going to Ottawa, growing up, like just going to Zadie.
I can't remember a time when I saw Rabbi Berger where he didn't have that warmth and compassion and that smile on his face that could light up a room.
From the very first moment, I liked the guy. It was just that smile that came across, and it was so very welcoming to you. You knew that there was going to be an immediate bond or friendship.
Chailea and Motti Berger came to visit us in our home in Ottawa to say that they were considering an offer, an invitation to come to Ottawa and to take up the Stelle as rabbi in the Young Israel.
And at that point, there were no shluchim in Ottawa, none at all at that point. And there was an opportunity to really make an impact beyond just the students at a Chabad house, but rather, take a leadership position and have an influence on an entire city.
I got to Rabbi Berger and I said, there's no school here that meets my needs. He said, come, you'll have a school that meets your needs. And he delivered on that promise.
People would say, is your cup half full or not full? And he would say, half full, don't worry about it, we'll fill it. Some other people say, it's half full, it's too hard, we're not going to do it. There was nothing which, with Rabbi Berger's enthusiasm, initiation, desire, was not possible. He just dragged you along and you had to do it. And that inspiration was contagious.
I looked forward every week. I could hardly wait to go to shul and to be with the Bergers. And of course, we spoke to them during the week. Rabbi Berger would come to our apartment. He brought us books. He was helping us to further our religious observance. And he made it seem so easy. I remember he emphasized a little bit at a time. Don't rush into it or it'll be too overwhelming.
Well, at first I knew Rabbi Berger, of course, as a principal and as a teacher, and several years down the line as a pulpit rabbi, and then later on as a friend.
When I went to my Maimonides, I felt like I was part of something. I was getting up every morning and putting on tzitzis, and I was praying, and I found that Rabbi Berger would really instill that into every student. He made it, he didn't try to brainwash anybody, but he also tried to let people feel like they were part of something.
He was able to learn from children who were 7 or 8 years of age, and you knew when he was asking you a question, he was waiting for the response. He really did want to know exactly how you felt.
What he showed the students is opportunity, that you have an opportunity and you will succeed. You just have to put yourself with the right direction, and he gave them the right direction. And he put them at ease. And I think he instilled a confidence in them with his compassion and his love, which they felt.
I remember sitting there Shabbos after Shabbos after Shabbos and hearing Rabbi Berger speak, and he felt like he was speaking to me. And everybody else thought he was speaking to them. And they thought that it was some anecdote that they had told him that week that had somehow spurred on that speech.
His drushes were very good. Even I would stay awake. They were interesting, they were personal. Motti was able to present, speak as a scholar, as well as Rav drawing out the ethical and other implications of the drusha.
Rabbi Berger, for us, was magnetic. If he was speaking at shul or a community event, he just left us with inspiration and messages that just drove us home and wanted us to have more and be with him more and learn more and hear more. It was his way of delivery. It was his special way, his eyes, his very sparkly eyes, and his just disposition that were just special.
But what I really liked about the sermons and other occasions when he was able to present himself as a person and personality was the genuineness of the communications. It wasn't formulaic. You felt that he was communicating directly and appreciating the people, the audience, the individuals in front of him.
I, at different times in my life, needed someone to talk to, and I was able to confide in him and talk to him, and he gave me some very, very with it meaningful advice.
You knew that whatever you said, it would help in confidence. That was never an issue. You knew that whatever he would be suggesting would be with wisdom and with not one iota of, oh, I got to use this to my personal advantage or anything like that. He was the genuine guy.
I think that anyone who sat down and had even the shortest conversation with Rabbi Berger felt this intense warmth. That is, this desire to connect on a person-to-person level.
Everything else in the room literally froze. Father looked at that person, and it was just that person. When he asked them, about their life, about their family, about what they're going through, no matter who the person was, and no matter where they lived, and no matter when, Father looked at a person and really tried to help that individual.
I always found he was very non-judgmental. He had a wonderful sense of humor, and he made us want to do more, to learn more, and to be more like him.
He really made the Jewish community of Ottawa a visible minority with the hats and the tzitzit and the kippot, and just basically saying, we are Jewish and we are proud of it.
He was very easygoing, very friendly with everybody. And underneath it, he had an absolute sense of what was right and wrong. And he knew who he was, and he knew what he was doing, and he knew why he was here, and he lived it. My father was, in this community, a giant, and so many people came to my father for everything they needed, advice, support, things for personal matters, for joyous occasions, for celebrations, for unfortunate situations. My father was there for the community. My father was devoted to the school, but my father was able to be the leader of the community, and at the same time, the best father in the world. He was able to give us all memorable summers, summer vacations, trips.
Family was very, very important to him. Coming over to our house, speaking to our children loved their Zaidi, and they still love him so very much. How he spoke to them and how he cared about them and how he took interest in every single one of them, asking how they're doing in school and how things are going, and even learning with them sometimes.
I just felt I'm so lucky to have a grandfather who was so involved and so loving. Where I could always think back and only have positive, only have happy thoughts, and so lucky to have 16 years of my life of a relationship with my grandfather. And this past year, he came into Kernite, he came in for Shabbos a few times, and just to be around him and just be in his presence was just such an amazing experience and just an honor for me.
The new president van Young Israel van Ottawa, Bets of a Brochen for a kind.
Young Israel. Because the ancient young was the ultimate to it. It was that experience, it was that tzlocha. It was one good experience. You had got that bucket with him, I was from Young Israel.
young people.
Yeah, that you put the doctor pushing you up for the young people. And have a happy year and show you stay on the circle.
When I think of Zadie, I think of how he saw the beauty in Chabad and Hasidus and the deeper essence in that, and I saw how he went on his own and he went and his whole life, that's what he was teaching to us, and that's all his stories of Rabbi that he gave over. He was always full of stories, and I feel like that's something we could really learn, that we're so lucky to be Lubavitch, we're so lucky to be a chassid of the Rebbe, and that's something that Zadie taught us.
It was important to him to be doing the Rebbe's work, to be doing that which enhanced Yiddishkeit in wherever he is. This is what he dedicated his life to. His love of his fellow Jew, his love for all Jews of all stripes, his dedication to the Rebbe, his dedication to his family, to Chayalea and his kids. You know, all of these things shone through all the time. And whatever he did, these things shone through.
He's gone, but his memory, his presence, his smile, his face is still very intense. So I loved him, and always will.
May the Almighty give the family the strength and the courage and the wisdom and the patience and the kindness and the understanding to be able to withstand this great trial and tribulation, and to be, as they are true shluchim of the Rebbe, whose sole desire is to make the world a world of goodness and kindness, so that Mashiach will come and we'll be reunited with all of our loved ones. And Rav Motti, Berger.